And one thing I like to talk about here too is the idea of AI being the ultimate polymath. So a polymath is someone who is an expert in a variety of fields. In history, it's been, maybe two or three fields. Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, they were polymaths because they were experts in about two, maybe three fields. Okay, they had massive improvements to society, to the world, because of their very unusual ability to find correlations between two distinct areas, and were able to take that synthesis and create something extraordinary. Now we have AI, which is an expert in thousands of different topics and able to find correlations between those topics. It's by its own, on its own. And the reason it's able to do that, and oh my gosh, this is just so fun. Now we're getting into emergence and emergent behavior. So the fact that it can find correlations across distinct fields shows it is not just outputting its data, because it is finding novel insights. It is able to find these correlations between two different fields that have never been present in its training data. So it is showing emergent behavior. It is showing capabilities that were not given in its training data. This idea of emergent behavior is new for large language models as of the transformer. And the transformer is a type of architecture that came out in 2018. And that is new. The idea that large language models are showing behavior and thinking kind of in their own way and outputting data that is not in their training data, outputting novel insights. That is emergent behavior, and that is new to large language models as of this new architecture called the transformer. And I have a video on the transformer, and I will link it here. I don't want to get into that right now, but it's basically just made models so much better. It was a very large reason why we were able to now have models like ChatGPT, because before the transformer, the models were not as capable as they are today. And so this idea of emergent behavior is really interesting because it also goes into it debunks the idea that AI models are simply, outputting data that they were trained on. So like they are not capable of thinking for themselves. They are just 100% stealing artists' work. No, actually, so it's different if you say like, let's look at image generation models, okay? If you say like output an image in the style of like Dolly, like the artist, not the image generation model, it will zoom into the part of its brain that knows about Dolly and then output from that. So its probability distribution has now completely shifted from its general big brain probability distribution to zoom, Dolly. This is what I know. And so every token pixel it outputs, so its own tokens are kind of just like pixels, colors, it outputs will be in this probability distribution. It's zoomed in. But in general, in its big brain self, it encompasses everything. And so it's not just stealing, like not everything it makes is like stolen from some random person. It is the amalgamation of everyone. It is like a human brain in that sense. It is going about the world, it is taking everything in, and it is creating from what it has learned across millions of examples. And so the reason I'm also talking about emergent behavior here is that it is literally proven that the model has novel insights. So